I'm gonna assign the problem to you.
Thank
and
you.
then we'll go on your own.
Yes, sir.
Mother
Go
of
to the
turds.
side.
Yeah.
You guys,
I literally pulled it out of my pocket.
I said mother of turds. I didn't call him mother of turds.
Same thing.
Turd is shit, right?
We used a lot of edit function, right? How many lists do we have in the edit?
9. We on.
6, okay?
Oh, 6. We on,
Go to the edit, okay? This is the review.
no, it's only 5 on here.
She's not even here. What?
6, right?
I don't even know what paper you have. What paper do you have?
L1, L2, L3, L4, L5, and 6. Okay? Maybe your calculator has a 5 list, but write it down. We have a 6 list. How many numbers you can put in each one of these lists? 999. So we have a 6,000 data, 6,000 numbers into the calculator, roughly saying, okay? So we do a lot of lists. And we do the calc too, right? One variable set, you have an X bar,
You're welcome.
sample mean, sample standard deviation, and the minimum, Q1, median, Q3, and maximum, right? So we are using test. Go to the test. Who got the test? Raise your hand. Let me see your hand. Who got the test?
I got it.
Raise your hand. Who got the test? Stat test. 3 menus. Edit, count,
Ninja.
and test, okay? So you gotta go down to what? Dina, can you read all the leads
All
from the
the
screen?
tests.
Yeah, Z test,
Okay, Z test, 2 T tests. Do I have to say the numbers or just read the test?
yeah, read the test only.
2 sample Z test, 2 sample T test, 1
Proportion.
proportion Z test, 2 proportion Z test, Z interval, T interval, 2 sample Z interval, 1, what is that again?
2 sample T interval,
No, is a proper proportion. Oh.
proportion.
1 proportion Z interval,
Yeah.
2 proportion Z interval.
Thank you, you can stop right there. You go to the A, 1 proportion Z interval, right? The first number should be in 537. This is the situation. Total number of the sample is a 1,013, okay, that should be N. N is the sample size, 1,013. And then out of the 1,013 people, only 537 people said it's about the survey, and 537 people said we wanna continue the formative action. So why don't you put the numbers in the calculator? X is 537 and it's 1,013. C level is a confidence level, write it down, confidence level. You can choose only 3, okay? 90%, 95%, 99%, okay? Depending on the problem. So most of the time we are using 95% and you are on the calculator. And this is the number, okay? So write it down. Let me explain what this means to you.
This was good.
Yeah, this number is correct. Number 1, number 14, example problem, P hat, proportion is 537 over 1,013, 0.05. 53. The proportion comes, Trenton, whether you come down here, there's a third one, you get out of here, okay? You disrupt the flow. Come here,
It's Jeremiah.
come down here. Break it out.
I still got food in my mouth.
It's not even Nah, what you like, you're doing. Here he go, here he brings
Spend
his.
some time with him. You're eating and talking.
How am I doing both?
also, you gotta check the conditions of our assumption. Conditions are what? If you're doing the proportion, you gotta multiply n times p. So 1013 times 0.53, you have 537, okay? It should be greater than equal to 10, and this is okay. The number second condition is, or assumption is n times 1 minus p. That'll be 1013 times 0.47, 476, and greater than equal to 10. This is what you're checking. And the next condition, which is not on the paper, the sample size, write this one down on the paper. Sample size should be less than 10% of the population. So what is the least number of the population you can expect? If the 1013 is less than 10% of the population, what should the minimum number of the population be? Anybody? Less than 10% of the population. What should be the minimum number of the population? I mean, this condition should be stated. You have to write it down. But what if the total population, the sample size 1013 is less than 10% of the population? My question to you right now, for the point, what should the minimum number of the population be? No?
Wait, can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah. If sample size 1013 is less than 10% of the total population, my question to you right now is what is the minimum number of the population you can expect?
1,000?
No.
476.
No. How do you get the
537.
number? Much bigger than 1013, right?
Oh, yeah.
What do you do with the 10% of 1013?
You-
Multiply what?
Oh.
No?
By
Can you do this
0.63.
one? Give me the number. You gotta divide. This is a population, 0.10% is a sample size. You gotta divide, right? Get the total. Give me the number. 1013 divided by 0.1. Anybody? You have a calculator?
10,130.
10,130.
Write this one down.
Right this where?
On the paper.
Under number 2.
So number 3?
No, number 3, we did,
Just write it next to the end of number 2.
yeah.
Number 3, 95 confidence level. Your confidence interval is 0.499 from the calculator, right? 561. Where this numbers are coming from? How did you get this number without a calculator? This number is 0.53, that number we got in the number 1, right? Minus 1.96, square root of 0.53 times 0.47 over 1,000. This so-called the critical value corresponding to the 95% confidence level. Where 1.645 for the 90% confidence level, 1.96 for the 95% confidence level, and 2.15 for the 99% of the confidence level. There are only 3 confidence levels. But you don't have to worry about the calculation part because everything is done on the calculator.
Where'd the .47 come from?
Number 1.
No, in the, square root, the
Oh, yeah.
0.53 times 0.47.
0.53, yeah.
When, oh, gotcha, thank you.
All the time, P, 1 minus P goes.
Gotcha,
hand in hand.
okay.
So what do we
If
put
P is
on the?
there, 1 minus P should be working too.
Okay.
When you check the conditions, you gotta do 1 minus P at this number, 0.4. Remember the binomial distribution? N times P is the mean.
What is the confidence interval? What's the confidence
So
interval?
what do we put on the line?
For number 3?
Yeah,
Number 3,
There's,
like what's the?
yeah, there's two answers. This is what we did yesterday, it was 0.499,
Yeah, I got that.
Oh.
and then the comma,
it's a
0.561.
range of numbers.
Yeah,
Okay.
So what this number means to us,
this is, yeah.
I'm gonna go to the next screen, explain what's going on for this number.
That's the critical value.
I think most of the time, quiz or test problem is not about the calculation, it's about the interpretation. What does this number
Oh
mean?
my gosh.
Morning. Ooh. So draw the normal curve. Sample size is big enough to draw the normal curve. Normal curve is a bell-shaped curve. We drew a lot of normal curve, normal distribution curve. Actually, the whole idea boils down to the things that we cannot pinpoint the population proportion, okay? So this is the p-hat,
I was writing this on a plain sheet of paper.
that's on my table.
I'm confused when we put it.
This on one piece of paper, right?
I have a blank piece of paper, you can write it down. I'm gonna have a space for the F.
It was posted to the top.
Was she not here yesterday?
Jack Wagon.
Dolly Dog World.
Okay.
You need blank. Draw the normal curve.
What?
I said Jerry, you so Jerry.
Oh, okay. I don't want to say that.
Now that's ball. You know his eye shape overflow.
They are very racist. Like crazy.
And that's the interpretation.
Yeah.
Mr. Hines, that's a little bit too close for my eyesight. What is P equals scribble scribble?
In the -1 section.
0.53, right? in
No,
the
no,
middle.
no, next to that.
The -1, standard deviation -1 is what she's talking about.
Minus 1.96 times square root of p hat times 1 minus p hat over n. N is 1013.
Wait,
P
can
hat is a 0.53.
you repeat the square root again?
square root of the p hat times 1 minus p hat over n.
Is this for this? Is this for number?
We're gonna multiply
Okay,
this number
15.
by 1.9.
We're in
P is proportion.
number 14, number 3
Proportion,
area.
yeah,
Oh,
proportion
okay.
of the sample. We cannot use the population proportion, so we are using the sample proportion to have an interval for the population proportion. Because we cannot pinpoint the population proportions, we have an interval of numbers.
So the P with the arrow above it stands for.
P hat.
That's the sample. P is the population proportion, P hat is the sample proportion. You remember the X is the sample mean? Yeah, mu is the population mean. So we have to distinguish. Some of the textbooks are using the pi for the population
Beat you
proportion,
up.
we are using P.
That's child.
This is the.
You 18.
You're not a child.
It's elderly abuse. Equals 561.
Antoine, can you read number 15?
Tate or Matthews?
Oh my.
Thank you.
For each of the following choices, explain which will result in a wider, large sample confidence interval for T. 9% confidence interval or 95% confidence interval. N equals 100 or N equals 400.
So higher the confidence level, wider the confidence interval. So if this is the,
No.
Like, did you not see that?
I saw nothing. Stop it.
I see, that's extra. This is my turn, please.
I don't think she's 18 yet, so that would be.
the higher confidence level, pick
Let me
up
see
the
your
wider
notes.
confidence interval.
They all up here.
And it's a
No, it's
different
on both.
story. Lower the N, sample
And
size,
sit closer.
and then wider
I'm gonna get back to you. There you go.
the confidence interval.
I would win that battle
N
anyway.
is at the bottom in the denominator.
Proportion.
N is higher, it's a narrower confidence interval.
Okay. Higher the C, lower the, what is that, lower the mu or sample size? Okay. Is this 2 II?
So I made a chart. This chart, not the same number, will be in the quiz, so you gotta practice on these numbers, okay? So I gave you.
Okay.
Sample size and the p hat and the confidence interval, okay? Yeah. Ninety-five percent confident the population proportion is between 0.499 and 0.56. Number 14.3. So you need a blank piece of paper.
Let's just say 1 minus P hat, okay.
Can you put your paper down?
Stop clicking, please. P hat. 1 minus P hat over N. Okay, and then that's gonna be P minus 1.56. P, these are P hats, okay.
Alright, let's do, the chart problem. Now move on to the calculator. Any questions so far?
Are we going, is this like the, from what we did from, what are we gonna be doing? What's gonna be on the page? Just the chart at the bottom?
You're welcome.
Well, when the quiz,
And a
right?
little bit of the bearing of
See how you
problem.
treat my son?
You can
Sure, move.
Friday. This Friday. And somebody told me, what if we have a 10 inch of snow Friday, a snow day, we have a quiz on Thursday or next Tuesday? Either.
Oh, if it's a snow day on?
Well, leave it right there. Switch characters real quick.
Dead again.
I mean, it was, yeah, it was like right there.
He could survive.
Get him.
He's skinny, he ain't got nothing on him. Yeah. I got you.
Turn around, same time.
Now,
I'm just gonna write you up myself. Right, you, and you.
You said what?
I'm pointing you. You, and you.
What? They were cold?
Y'all in your dang hoodies. First of all, I'll find your dumb blazer.
I don't know where it's at.
Ain't my problem.
Trenton stole my blazer.
I think I left
Sounds
it
like
at
a you
school
problem.
Like 2 weeks ago. So I probably lost the best one.
Great.
It's took, bro. I mean, if it works.
It's took.
Somebody took it.
It's took.
There's people in this school we needed, so.
Alright.
It's funny, they'll take a blazer, but not the
What is the
Balenciagas.
N? What is a P hat?
I mean, amazing.
Where do you have to go?
Yeah. Or the Gucci, or the Queens. Oh, full of crap.
So one number should be.
Hey, follow along with your calculator so you know what you're doing.
One number should be on the X. We have an N 50, P is 0.3, which number should be in the X. X over N is the 0.3. So you're gonna multiply 50 by 0.3. What is a 50 times 0.3?
You're looking at the chart in the bottom of your paper, everyone. You're plugging in chugging. So you're plugging in N is 50. What's your X?
This is a 95% confidence level, so
I'm gonna
you don't
beat
have to
you.
worry about it. This is the
I'm just listening.
confidence interval. Write it down with the parentheses.
Do we put an X as February or?
15, the X is not in the chart.
X is not in the chart. There you go.
Working backwards, 50 times 0.3, you have an X 15, okay?
I got an error. What did I do wrong? Can we?
Can I see your calculator?
It goes in the first one.
Yep. This is confidence interval, right, for the first one?
Yeah.
Okay. So you gotta do 0.17298, comma, 0.42702. That's the answer for, the first one. Oh, mercy me. Oh, there goes the video. Yeah, I got, the videos from the other day I need to post. Okay, who said wanted help? So it's gonna be this. Yeah, guys, you're plugging and chugging here. So in your box, you're at the 50 and the 3, and your answer goes right there in that first little blank. Your answer should go right here. Your answer's gonna go right here. These two. These two are your answer right here. The 0.17298 and the 0.427. Hi. So get those two in. That's your answer for the first box. Yo, bros.
CI is 0.17.
CI, right next to the 50 and the 3, your first blank, your CI is 0.17298, comma, 0.42702. Just like this.
Comma, wait, so.
It's a comma, there's a comma here.
Oh, because it's a
So there's two different
range.
answers.
So you don't put that
It's a
zero?
range of
You
numbers.
don't put that zero?
You can,
So you have a
You don't need
0.35.
as long as you have the point,
decimal.
Point 179.
yes, sir, comma, 0.42702. You do not need that first zero, because it doesn't register in your calculator. You gotta, that's the answer, because as Alana said, it's a range of numbers. So this means it's a range. We're going from 0.17298 to 0.42702.
Let's go back to second grade.
Yes, no, maybe so?
Yes.
Yes.
So go to the next problem, 15 and 35.
What number was that?
Where did you go with?
Eight. Go all the way down to eight.
What are we doing?
I'm sorry. No, no, there's two
Oh my
numbers right here.
You know I'm blind.
They both go in here. They both go in that first box. You're not going across to that second open box. You are putting both answers in the first open box.
Okay, I see what you're talking about now.
Yeah,
I
all
really
those,
don't,
all
but
that work you wrote down.
I know.
You gotta put that information in order to get it. Yep. So you're gonna continue the same process that he did for the other ones. You're just gonna change your X is 15, and you've got your N, and then you've got your P hat, so you're gonna enter all that information in.
This number is in trouble, why? This number is not working?
Because the N
Why?
is bigger than the X.
No. What is the N times P?
Because the sea level is less, it has.
No, no. You gotta check the condition. N times P is less than 10, and this is not working at all. You gotta say, no, I cannot do any confidence interval for this problem. You see the 6.75 on the first line? That's less than 10. You cannot do any confidence interval for that. You will see the negative number, okay? Quit, you see the quit? Error. You gotta say no on the answer. CI is no, not available. NA?
How do you find it?
How do you find X? X is 15. No, X is, I don't know.
He told us that, but like,
He didn't give it to us. So,
Lips don't mean nothing.
this is good. Mr. Hahn,
Third one,
how do you find it X?
you multiply N times P hat.
Oh,
For number 2, 15 and 0.45. You have a 6.75 for the
where
X.
did the 6.75 come from?
you gotta multiply it.
Thank you.
No.
So,
Do the job, yeah.
That's little.
What do I do with this number?
okay, hang
So the
on.
next one is 70.
Is it? No, it's gotta be a range. It'll be a range.
Multiply the sample size
To
by
find
the
X,
P.
I'm saying X is 70.
Okay, so he's telling you how to get this now.
The violation of the condition, because that should be greater than equal to 10, number is less than 10, so you gotta stop here. Eventually, you have a quick error message from the calculator because of this one. It should be all the time greater than equal to 10.
Oh.
It's not.
Okay.
So you have an error message from your calculator. Can you find the confidence interval? No, not available.
So the second one is not
Similarly,
available,
15 times
not applicable.
0.55, you'll have
Second one
the
is
number
not.
less than 10, the same problem, and then calculator is smart enough to give you the quick
It's an error.
Time to go.
In comprehensive
Cause I needed to calculate. I didn't wanna
Wait
exit.
a minute.
I was trying to do something.
Your second one is no, not applicable, NA. Right, NA for the second one. Right, NA for the second one if you haven't done it yet. The one below it. NA. Means not applicable.
Do we get points?
So work on the next problem.
I got it.